Okay, so I don't read a lot of nonfiction, but for 2025, I wanted to get more into nonfiction books. Okay, I'm gonna work on myself a little bit. All right, not too much because I'm perfect as I am, but a little bit. Okay. Hello, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today, I will be sharing with you my January/slash birthday book haul. I knew that starting February 1st, I would be going on a book buying ban, so I might have went a little bit crazy. Just a little bit crazy in January with my book purchases. I have 42 books to share with you. Yes, actually, like I would say, I think six of those books, six of those books were gifts. Okay, so the rest I did purchase for myself. But like I said, February 1st started my book buying ban, and I haven't purchased a book. It's February 5th today. I haven't purchased a book in 5 days. So that's progress. Anyway, I have a ton of books to share with you guys. I'm not going to go into details about all of them, otherwise we would be here all day. And I don't think any of us really want to do that. I am wearing my bookish sweatshirts. I recorded 2 other videos today, so you will be seeing me looking exactly like this in 2 other videos, which those should be already uploaded. But without further ado, let's try to get through these books pretty quickly. I did organize them into categories, and I basically have all of the categories covered. Okay, like I made sure I was set for the year. Okay, I don't know how long this book buying ban is going to go for, but I feel like it's going to go for a hot minute. I already mentioned in my other videos that I have a bunch of pre-orders already, set, already scheduled. So those books will still be coming in, as well as my book subscriptions. I am subscribed to Book of the Month as well as probably Smut. So with all of that, like my pre-orders plus my subscriptions, I will still be getting books throughout the year. So I'm hoping that'll be good enough for me to stay strong to my book buying ban. But anyways, let's go ahead and start talking about the books. I'm going to share with you my book subscriptions. First, I forgot to grab the t-shirt. Let me see. Let me grab it. I'll be right back. So, with my probably Smut subscription, I do get a t-shirt every month as well, and this is the shirt that I got in the January box. It says, "It's a good day to read books." I've already worn it a few times. I get a size large for like that oversized look, and it is super cute. This is what the box looks like that you get every month. This is everything that comes in the box. So it all comes wrapped up in like this string with their little business card. It says, "Packed by your PS team with love, XOXO." And you get some stickers. You also get annotation tabs, and with the tabs is a suggestion key, which is super cute, and it is also a bookmark, and it's just like the t-shirt. You also get these book review pages. They send you a little binder with your first like box that you get with your subscription, and every month you get these little book review pages to stick in it. And for the January book, this is what we received. It is called The Final Rose by Amy Oliveira. Probably Smut books, you get like special covers. Like this is not the original covers, the special edition covers exclusive to probably Smut. So this looks like a nice short read. Honestly, this would have been good for February, but I already have a bunch of books to read in February. I did already upload that video. It should be up already on my February TBR, but maybe I'll throw this in there. I forgot all about this book, honestly. So that is my probably Smut January box. Next is Book of the Month. this is what the box looks like. If you didn't see this before, I feel like everybody knows what book of the month is because they sponsor so many like book YouTube videos. That's how I found out about it. I got Alice Feeney, Beautiful Ugly, and A Killing Cold by Kate Alice Marshall. I believe, yeah, this was the January book of the month, and the Alice Feeney Beautiful Ugly I just added to the box. With book of the month, you get to choose out of, I think, seven. I believe they had seven choices. I thought it was only five, but like for some reason there was seven choices. Anyway, they give you like a few books to choose from, and you can choose from those books, and you can also add additional books to your box. So that's why I have two books. Moving on. Okay, I'm going to start with these three books because I'm not exactly sure what category they fall into. Like, it might be romance. I believe it was romance plot, so I guess so. But this one says like a seductive thriller. What's Done in the Shadows by Monique Elise. Quinn Winthrop offers Stormy 100 grand to sleep with her husband Clay. And it seems like a life-changing opportunity. I'm not going to read the whole thing because I have so many books to get through, but I believe he ends up dead. What's Done in the Shadows is a gripping tale of sisterhood, betrayal, and the dark underbelly of power. Dive into a world where the stakes are deadly, the motives are hidden, and every shadow holds a secret. Ooh. Next, Rhythms Blues by Kimberly Brown. Successful. Okay, so she's a girlfriend of a successful rapper. She is a successful occupational therapist. There is a messy entanglement going on here. I'm excited to read it. I was drawn in by the cover. Like, look how beautiful she is. Are you kidding me? Stunning. The next book is called Losing Control by Lady Nesha. Detroit's Bad Bar. Wow. Detroit's Bad Boy Cesar. Cesar. Czar. I'm going to have to look up how to pronounce that. To the world, he's a lyrical genius with a sharp tongue and tough exterior, but behind closed doors, he battles with dark demons from his past while dodging industry drama, scandals, and lies. This is pretty thick. When I got it, I wasn't expecting it to be this thick, but I'm excited to see what this is about. It says he's a walking red flag and Marley is emotionally unavailable. That's all I needed to hear, okay? And I'm interested. I'm sat down. Let's move on to nonfiction. Okay, so I don't read a lot of nonfiction, but for 2025, I wanted to get more into nonfiction books, okay? I want to work on myself a little bit, all right? Not too much because I'm perfect as I am, but a little bit. First one being Dare I Say It by Naomi Watts. Everything I Wish I'd Known About Menopause. This is kind of important, to learn about and prepare myself for as a woman. So that's next. I have Beyond Anxiety by Martha Beck. Curiosity, creativity, and finding, oh, this is sticker there, your purpose, finding your life's purpose. Next, I have Inner Excellence by Jim Murphy. Train your mind for extraordinary performance and the best possible life. There was a football player reading this book on a sideline on one of the games. My husband's like, look, he's reading a book. So I quickly ran over to see what it was and ordered it. So yeah, it says train your mind for extraordinary success. Discover the mental training system that has developed world champions, empowered athletes to become world number one, and most importantly, transform their lives. It shows you how to develop mental toughness, train your subconscious mind, overcome mental blocks, develop empowering habits. I feel like when I read out loud and I know someone's listening, I get super nervous and I forget how to read. I don't know. Like, I don't know what happens to my brain. I freak out. And the last nonfiction book I have to share is The Body Keeps Score by Bessel van der Kolk, MD. Okay, let's keep going. Thrillers. I only have two thrillers on this list. First of all, I have The Push by Ashley Audrain. This was intriguing. Something about it says hooks you from the very first page and will have you racing to get to the end. Something about a mother who, let's see. She's determined. Okay, let me read a little bit of it. It says Blythe Connor is determined that she will be the warm, comforting mother to her new baby, Violet, that she herself never had. But in the exhaustion of early motherhood, Blythe becomes convinced that something is wrong with her daughter. Or is it all in Blythe's head? The more her husband Fox dismisses her fears, the more Blythe begins to question her own sanity. Then their son, Sam, is born, and with him, Blythe has the blissful connection she'd always imagined with her child. But when their lives are changed in an instant, the devastating fallout forces Blythe to face the truth. The Push is an utterly immersive novel that will challenge everything you think you know about motherhood, what we owe our children, and what it feels like when women are not believed. I am a mom, so I am absolutely, absolutely intrigued to read this book. I want to read that like really soon, actually. And the last thriller that I got in January was Frida McFadden's newest release, The Crash. She is an autobi author for me. If she writes it, I will read it. Okay? And did read this already. This was the first book that I read in February. Okay. Super fast read. I read it in less than 24 hours. Like, that's why I love her books. They're so so fast paced, so easy to get through. Every single chapter is short, which I love, and they all end in a way that makes you want to keep reading. Like, she is an artist for real. Frida McFadden, The Crash. Okay, so I have a bunch of romance and some fantasy. I have more romance than I have fantasy. So let's just go through the fantasy books first. And I will let you know which books were gifts because they are in these piles here. Okay, first of all, I got A Study in Drowning. Okay, I bought this for the sprayed edges. I'm going to be completely honest with you. When I saw these sprayed edges, I was like, add them to my cart immediately. Why is it not already on my... Look at this. Gorgeous. And there's another book coming out. I don't know. I think this is a duology. I don't think there's going to be more than 2 books, but there's another book that have like special edges as well coming later in this year. And best believe I already pre-ordered that. Study in Drowning. No idea what it's about, but that's none of my business. I'll find out once I read it, right? That's that. Next, I have 2 Brandon Sanderson books. I am collecting his books. I have 3 already that I own. So now we just added 2 more. This one I bought myself, Tress of the Emerald Sea. This is like his special projects. There's a few books that I think he wrote for his wife or something. And then she convinced him to publish. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that, but that's what I think happened here. So Trust of the Emerald Sea. I actually want to read this soon. I think this is going to be the first Brandon Sanderson book that I read. We'll see in March because green books give me March vibes. So I might be reading this pretty soon. So I'm excited to see what the hype around Brandon Sanderson is. And this Brandon Sanderson book, Yumi and the Nightmare Painter, my daughter bought for me for my birthday. We went to Barnes. I picked it out. She purchased it. So this might be my second book because these are standalones. And then the 3 that I already have are like the first 3 books in the Mistborn trilogy, which is like all part of the Cosmere universe. I don't even know what that means, but like, I'm excited to be a Brandon Sanderson girly. I hope I like it as much as everybody else. To be determined. Next, The Endless War by Danielle Jensen. This is the 4th book, I believe. Yes, book 4 says it on the side. I have been collecting the series. I haven't started it. I haven't read the first one, but I already have 4 books. One thing about me is I'm buy the entire series before I even know what is. I have no idea what this is about, but I have the series. It's fine, completely fine. Moving on. The next 2 books were gifts from one of my clients. I am a lash tech. I feel like I said that already in other videos, and I hope that's not like redundant and annoying and repetitive. Like, who cares? You're a lash tech. We get it. But this These two books were from a client. She asked me to send over my wish list, and she bought two books from that. That's how she knew what I wanted. Um, Children of Blood and Bone and Children of Virtue and Vengeance, and they have sprayed edges. These came from Target. This is actually becoming a movie, and their like cast is star-studded, beautiful, amazing, talented people. So when I saw this was becoming a movie, I immediately added it to my wish list. So I'm so excited. Thank you so much. Shout out to Leslie for these two books. I believe there's one more in this series, which I will buy once I actually start this book. So you already know, I am on a ban, but as I mentioned in one of my previous videos last month, that for my ban, it doesn't include my subscriptions, my pre-orders, and if I'm in the middle of a series and I get to the next one, I can go ahead and buy the book to continue the series. Okay? I do have a couple loopholes there. Also in my TBR jar, which is right here. There's 5 prompts in here. It says treat yourself. So those are my little like loopholes for my book buying ban. Next, I got Fairytale by Veronica Lancet. This has been on my wish list for a long time. It's a thickie. It's a thickie. But I figured before my book ban starts, let me make sure I add this to my TBR because I really do want to get to it. I saw on the author's Instagram that they are coming out with an audio, and she like played a little snippet. So I'm probably going to listen to the audio. I might do some immersive reading. For fantasies, I find that immersive reading is like, I don't know, ideal for fantasy, because if I'm just listening to it, I could get distracted and miss something important. Or if I'm just reading it, sometimes I get a little bit like really confused. Like it's sometimes like the world building can get confusing for me. So if I'm listening and reading at the same time, I'm locked in, I'm focused, and I retain the information better. So I might do that with Fairytale because the little clip that she played of the audio intrigued. I'm excited. I have to figure out when that's going to be released, but I will be sat down immediately to listen and read that book. And the last fantasy that I got in January, of course, is Onyx Storm. I already shared my feelings about this book in my January reading wrap up. So if you want to know what I thought and how I felt about this book, watch that video. All right. Last but not least in the categories is my romance. I have 2 huge piles in front of me. So let's get straight into it. Oh, wait. Oh my gosh. Hiding behind these 2 massive romance piles is historical fiction. Let's do that first. I'm actually sitting on my floor in front of my bookshelves, and all of my books are on my bed. So this is like a much more like comfortable situation. I do have a pillow underneath my feet because my ankles were hurting. But like in my January videos, I'm sitting on my bed with like the tripod, but not directly in front of my shelves. Anyways, you don't care about that stuff. Um, the Book of Lost Names by Kristen Harmel. A blurb back here says, "Not since The Nightingale have I finished a book and been so choked with emotion, sweeping and magnificent." So with these historical fictions, I was looking for something similar to The Nightingale. I'm chasing that feeling that The Nightingale gave me because it was so touching, so deeply moving. So that's why I picked up these 2 books that I have. It is World War II, with the whole like Nazis and Germany's and that whole era. This book, The Book of Lost Names, and same thing with this book, The Things We Cannot Say by Kelly Rimmer. Fans of The Nightingale and Lilac Girls will adore The Things We Cannot Say, a poetic and unforgettable tale. Oh, Lilac Girls, I never heard of that. I'm gonna have that to my wish list and eventually get that. Hopefully I'll get like a treat yourself prompt in my TBR jar at some point and order that, or maybe somebody will buy for me. We'll see. But those are the historical fiction books that I have. This is also during, is it World War II? I believe this is also part of that. Nazi-occupied Poland. Okay, 1942, Europe remains in the relentless grip of war. Yeah, just beyond the tents of the Russian refugee camp, she calls home. A young woman speaks her wedding vows. It's a decision that will alter her destiny, and it's a lie that will remain buried until the next century. I am intrigued. Okay, let's go on to the romances. Out of the Woods, this is what I'm currently reading by Hannah Bonham Young. Okay, this is the best friends of the character Win in Out on a Limb. Her name is Sarah. Yeah, so they're best friends. I loved Out of the Limb, but I loved Sarah and Caleb in that book, so I was excited to know that they were getting a book, and I'm loving it so far. Super cute. Oh, where's the other book like by this author? Okay, so these two books I'll show together. So Don't Be in Love and Picking Daisies on Sundays by Liana Sincati. I've wanted this book for a long time. The pink cover is speaking to me. I'm not one of those girls who are like, don't judge a book by its cover, like absolutely judging the book by their covers. If they have an ugly cover, I'm not really drawn to them. But if they're pink and cute like this, then I want it. Immediately add to cart. I'm so excited. I did hear good things about this book. So when I looked up this book, I saw the author had another book. I believe this book comes before Picking Daisies on a Sunday, so I think I'm going to read this one first. I'm going to double check the publication, but I'm pretty sure this one was released first. Don't quote me on that, girl. But yeah, so those two books I am very excited to get to. Next, I have My Dark Desire and My Dark Romeo by Parker S. Huntington and L.J. Shen. These are two books in a 3-book series, I believe. I already pre-ordered the third book. I believe that's coming in February, actually. I think so. I think they're dark romances. I don't know too much about them, but they have been on my wish list for a hot minute. Honestly, the covers are so beautiful, and they have like black pages in there too. Not all black pages, but some black pages. Like, I don't know. I just think these books are just so beautiful. And I've heard only really good things about these books. Again, no idea what it's about. I believe this is like a Romeo and Juliet, like I don't want to say retelling, but like inspired. I don't know. And then this second one, My Dark Desire, is like Cinderella, and I think the third one is like, is it like Sleeping Beauty, Beauty and the Beast? Don't quote me, girl. I don't know what I'm saying right now. Let's move on. These next 3 books I'll share with you are gifts from my husband for my birthday. We went out to dinner, but before dinner we went to Barnes and I picked out 3 books: Unravel Me and Fall With Me by Becca Mack. These are book 3 and 4 in a series, Playing for Keeps Hockey Romance series. So I heard that after the Windy City, which I haven't started yet, I have those books on my physical TBR, but all the reviews that I saw for this series is like, oh, if you like that series, read this one. Again, I didn't read that series, so I don't even know if I like it, but like, I don't know. If you tell me to buy something and it's amazing and it, like, you love this so much, it made you feel all the things, and I want it. I immediately want it. So I don't want to like miss out on something amazing. Okay? Next, from my husband, which one was it? This one. Beneath the Stars. Nope, I made that up. This one is Beneath the Stars. I bought this one myself, and then my husband bought me Beneath the Stands. This is book 1 and 2 in a romance series called Sugar Lake by Emily McIntyre. This is the author that wrote like is it called Never After? I believe it's called Never After. It's like the Disney retelling Scarred, Hooked, Hex, those books. This is that author. I do have Hexed and Hooked on my TBR. Did I read it? No. Did I buy her new series? Yes, I did. That was me. I did that. Next, I have 2 books by Jessica Joyce, You with a View, and The X-Files. I heard amazing things about both of these books, so I had to have them both. I'm hoping to get to You with a View. Like, if I finish my February TBR, I might add You with a View to it. Otherwise, I'll probably read it next month in March, and then I'm going to read The X-Files because I believe You with a View was her like debut novel, like her very first book. So I'm going to read it in order of publication. But I'm pretty sure they're standalones. Like, you don't have to read one before the other or anything like that. Next, I have Give Me a Reason by A.L. Jackson. It says Simply Thrilling on the back. I believe this is a romance. It says A Single Dad, Enemies to Lovers, standalone romance from New York Times bestselling author A.L. Jackson about a jaded club owner and his son's teacher. The edges are super pretty. It has like flowers on there. I don't know if it's showing up on camera, but super cute. I don't know anything besides what I just read. I didn't even read the rest of the back, just that little blurb. That's all I needed to know. Got that from Target recently. Next, I have 2 Catherine Cowles books. I've never read from this author, but again, I've heard really good things, and that's all that needs to happen is for me to hear something good for me to order the book, right? So I have Catherine Cowles, All the Missing Pieces. Mia Sheridan has a little blurb on here. It says, showcases Catherine's supreme talent at weaving together a riveting mystery in a heartfelt love story. Yeah, I believe most of her books are like romance with like thriller elements in it. Could be wrong, could be making that up, but I think that's the vibe and the impression that I got from what I heard about this author. And I believe this is a standalone book, and it has cute pink sprayed edges. Also from Catherine Cowles, I got Delicate Escape, which is book 2 in the Sparrow Falls series. I bought book 1 in December from Barnes, and then I saw this one in Target, so I picked it up. I did pre-order the rest of the series on Amazon, so they will be coming throughout the year. I believe one book is being released a month, so I'm excited about this too. I've heard really good things. It says, captivating, romantic, suspenseful. This book was absolutely unputdownable. Laura Pavlov. Trust doesn't come easily when you've been running for as long as I have, which is why moving in with a man I barely know is such a bad idea. Well, it is a bad idea, but I bet you they're going to fall in love. I bet you that's what that romance is about. All right, we're coming down to the end, guys. Thanks for hanging with me, if you have. Okay, speaking of Laura Pavlov, let's just jump right into the first book that I've ever purchased from this author, which is Always Mine. This is book 1 in the Honey Mountain series. I did pre-order the rest of the series. It has cute sprayed edges, and when I was looking online, it looks like if you line them up, it has like a cute like little landscape vibe. So I'm excited to see what that looks like on my shelf. It says, don't miss the Best Friends to Lovers small town romance series taking book talk by storm. Perfect for fans of Elsie Silver and Melanie Harlow. I love Elsie Silver, so this is similar to that. And I love small town romance. Like, I eat those up every time. Speaking of Melanie Harlow, I do have 2 books that I purchased from her. Runaway Love. Oh, some of my books just fell. Look at the sprayed edges. How cute is that? And Hideaway Hearts. This is also a series. Runaway Love. Let's see. Small Town Romance. Single Dad. I love small town romance and I love single dad. I don't know what it is about that. This is Enemies to Lover, small town rom-com. I'm excited to get into this series. I did pre-order the rest of the books and they will all have sprayed edges, so those are going to be so cute on my shelf. We are coming down to the last 3 books. Oh my goodness, I don't know how long this video is, but thanks so much for like hanging in there. Collide by Bal Cabra. There's no skating around their feelings. She's an honor student with ambitious graduate school plans, and he's a jock with only hockey on his mind. But once their worlds collide, their connection is hot enough to melt an ice rink. Hockey romance. Okay, I have quite a number of hockey romances on my physical TBR. And I don't want to, like, I'm not even really a hockey romance girly. I did read a couple, like, I read the Icebreaker, like, trilogy by Hannah Grace. Is that? Oh, God. I hope that's the right author. But yeah, I read that. I honestly I didn't care for Icebreaker. It was a little bit too insta lovey, a little bit too like lusty, a little bit too spicy for me personally. But if you loved it, I'm happy for you. But I think that might be the only ice hockey that I've ever read. But I have several ice hockey books on my shelf, so I have to get to those soon. Okay, next I have Better Than Friends by Jill Shalvis. This is her newest release. I read this already. I'd already shared my thoughts about it in my January reading wrap up. So if you want to know what I thought about this book, you can check out that video. But Jill Shalvis, I read all of the other books in this series. I believe this is like book 7. I think. I think there's like 7 or 8 books in the series. I think there's one more coming out, and that has already been pre-ordered for later this year. So that when that book comes out, that'll complete this series. Super cute. I love her books. They're like Hallmark movies, like that kind of vibe. And last but not least, Beg, Borrow, or Steal by Sarah Adams. I don't know why I had to look. I know exactly who wrote this book. I did already read this as well. So definitely have to check out my reading wrap-ups to get my thoughts on this book. But I loved it. Super cute. I love Sarah Adams. Kind of Hallmark vibes as well, with a little bit of spice, but not too much spice, which I like. Like I like tension and flirty and all of that more than actual spice scenes. So Sarah Adams is good for that. But that is everything. Those are all the books that I bought in January, plus 6 books that were gifted to me. Woo! I have a lot of books to read and to choose from, so hopefully I can stick to this book buying ban. I didn't set a time limit on it, but I at least want to get through February. I'm honestly hoping to get through like 6 months, okay? Like, I want to get through a good chunk of the year without buying any new books. I do have books coming in, like I mentioned, the pre orders and my subscriptions. So I'm hoping that'll hold me off. We'll see. I'll let you guys know. Anyway, this video is probably long enough. Thank you so much for hanging out with me again. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to my channel to see more videos from me. Let me know if you've read any of these books and what I should bump up on my TBR. Like, what should I read immediately? Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video soon.